Welcome to the Unicorn Perspective.
Roger on Unit 121. 34, 1 34, come in. Roger, it's on your screen, 318 East 3rd Street, Ed. In the parking lot, 27-hour battery suspect is at 318 East 3rd Street. Is that related to your call or is it one different?
All right, I think we are live. 92% sure that that we're good to go. This is the first time doing a live using Ecamm with a guest, and so this could backfire terribly. But it looks like we're good. I just can't use BeLive anymore. I can't stand it. It's so crappy. If anybody knows any of BeLive, I apologize, but like that's all they've done for 2 or 3 years is Facebook Live, and you think they would build a platform that actually streams in 1080 and like is reliable and stable, and none of that exists. So it looks like we're good. If you guys can hear and see Josh and I, Josh isn't talking right now, so you just got to see Josh. But if you can hear me and see me, just let us know below. This is the first. I know last week or 2 weeks ago, we had a live on here that was in this slot. That was kind of the first Unicorn Weekly update. But that was really just a kind of pre-scheduled live before we decided to do this new format. So Josh is officially the first guest on this this new little show. It's not a podcast. I don't know what we're going to call it, what it actually is, because we're not going to put it on podcast or any of that. But basically, Josh is here to sit down and chat about things beyond just marketing, right? Because I think everyone here is a marketer, is a business owner. But at the end of the day, we're all people, and every person has different things they're interested in, right? Whether it's the economy, whether it's politics, and a lot of those things impact what you're doing as a business owner. So we're going to have a pretty interesting discussion. We're going to see where it takes us. There's no pre-scripted questions, nothing like that. The only thing we did do was send Josh an application to basically say what topics are off limits. That was really the only thing we sent to prepare anybody in the coming weeks. And we have, in the coming weeks, we have Ezra Firestone, Tim Bird, Deepesh Mandeli, we have a lot of great people coming on. And that's the only thing we asked him. It's like, hey, if you don't want to talk about religion or politics or the economy or things like that, let us know. We want to talk about it. But if not, we're talking about it all. Or we can just talk about Yorkies. Josh has showed me his Yorkie. I got a Yorkie here. So we can just talk for an hour about Yorkies. But what we're going to start about is this little thing right here. The Snow teeth whitening system. Josh didn't upgrade my system to the $10,000 one, which I'm a little upset about. I got the regular one. He's got the bedazzled one. Let me just start off with this, man. Like, why are more people doing what you're doing? And what I mean by that specifically is, I got this in the mail, and it came with custom tissue paper. It came in a beautiful Apple-like box. It came with a container in this. I opened it, and I was immediately, before I even looked at the product, I knew this is going to be a high quality, amazing product. And the same thing's true with, we're subscribed to Quip for toothbrushes, Not Pot for CBD. There's a range of products that we get, our away luggage, that you get it, and it's just stunning. You know it's going to be a great product before you even look at the product. But most people in our space, they're drop shipping, they're doing print on demand, and they're not investing anything into the packaging, the brand, and the customer experience. Like, where do you think that disconnect is of why people aren't doing what Snow's doing?
I think that it's easy to look at whether it be Shopify or whatever your CRM is, look at customers as an order number. And what I try to remind myself every day, so every day, actually right before this call here with you, I take an hour to an hour and a half of calls. So I route one of so we added a 1-800 number 24-hour line to our website. So over 1 million people see that phone number every single month. And we just filmed our nationwide commercial and infomercial that's going live. I was just in Lake Mary, Florida, filming that with the My Pillow guys, and so we're putting that infomercial all over, and I'm going to be adding on a phone number that goes direct to my line in that infomercial. So I personally guarantee it, and if you have any issues, you can call me directly with this phone number, and that's insane because that's going to get in front of 30 million people a month, 30 million Americans every single month. So I think that the reason why I bring that up is that I remind myself every single day, and I take calls 7 days a week, Saturday and Sunday included, and talk to my customers directly on the phone. And it keeps me grounded. It gives me a pulse on exactly what's going on. From those calls, I'm able to then go and talk to our media buying team, talk to our packaging team, talk to our engineers, and say, hey, our customers, I'm noticing that they're having this issue. And so we treat every single customer as an investor in our business. And they are investing and they are voting for us with their credit card, with their money that they work for. And that system that you have there is $299. Our standard system is $150. That's a lot of money to the average American, and they're investing in us. And so I treat every single customer like an investor. So when they get our product, when they get our package in the mail, it's an opportunity for us to present in front of our investors. And I think of it in that way, that if we wow our customers from service to marketing, from marketing and ads to the ordering process, to receiving the product, to after sales service and support, if we wow along the way, the truth is that as long as they have teeth, I can sell them something. And so I don't lose the opportunity, that first impression that I have. Just like a smile is the opportunity for our first impression. We create products that help people smile, but part of those products are the experiences, the packaging. And I was thinking about the packaging that I don't throw away, and I'm looking at one right now in my home office here. It's my MacBook Pro. I don't throw away my Apple packaging like a lot of other people. And I said, why is it that I hold on to my Apple packaging and I throw everything else away? And then I thought about, if we truly are the Apple of oral care, why don't we have packaging to match that? And we found that our return rates went down, our satisfaction went up. And when people receive the product, they're like, when they order it online, like, okay, $150 or $300, I hope this works. Then they receive it and they're like, wow, this is really well done. And they want to Instagram it. They want to tell their friends about it. They want to keep the packaging. And now we have customers reselling or selling the packaging online on Etsy, Poshmark, eBay. They're selling the travel bag. And that for us is really exciting because we treat every single piece of our experience like software, and it's like, how can we iterate across the entire cycle, from packaging to emails to our phone support, and we're constantly tweak. So we literally look at our packaging and we're changing it every single month. I think for the last 24 months, we've changed our packaging every 30 days, and that's crazy. And we also fulfill everything ourselves. So since day zero, we fulfilled every single package in-house by ourselves from Phoenix, Arizona to 180 countries. Every single package gets touched with love and packaged inside of the Snow HQ inside of Phoenix, Arizona. And it's a refrigerated warehouse. It's an air-conditioned supply chain, air-conditioned fulfillment center. Everything is done at the highest level. It's not cheap, but doing things right is not cheap. But doing things wrong is actually really expensive, because if you do things wrong, the customer is going to want to return the product. Things are going to arrive broken, and they're not going to have an experience that they're excited about. And so if you're whether you're in the premium space or not, we're in the premium oral care space, but even if you're not in the premium space, we look at every single touch point with the customer and say, how can we delight our customers? How can we make them feel special? And sometimes entrepreneurs can forget that customer is not just an order number. It's not just a pixel flyer. It's a real human being who decided to spend their hard-earned money and invest into you.
No, I mean, it's so true, and it's what's fascinating to me, and this is from a psychological standpoint. I'm curious how, just like people's brains work, because so many people getting into our space, and this is where I was going with this question. You gave a really great answer to it. Was they want to make money, they want to be successful, they want to achieve whatever their financial freedom goals, whatever their their personal goals are, and the best way to do that is to make sure the customer you acquire comes back again and again and again. But they get so focused on, if I do custom inserts, it's an extra 80 cents. And if I do a box, it's $1. And all of a sudden they're like, well, that adds $3 an order. And my ROAS right now is 2. And if I do 3, I can't make money on the front end. And it's like, have you ever seen a major company, think about any Fortune 500 B2C company that exists with first-time buyers? Doesn't, right? Coke, Nike, Under Armour, Apple, any of those companies you go through, they're not built on one-time customers who come and buy Coke once and like, you know what, that was a really ugly can and it tasted terrible, I'm never drinking Coke again. Or Apple, like, no, it's you have to invest in that initial experience. And I don't know if it's the way that people are being taught. I don't know if it's just the amount of content people are getting on a regular basis, where they're so focused on that initial interaction, add to sales page to sale, and then repeat. And then once they've sold me something, I just move on and I forget about them. And it drives me crazy, because you see these questions again and again and again when I'm doing audits or Q&A sessions, and it's the same questions over and over again. It's like, well, what are you doing with your customer? What's your lifetime value? I don't know. I'm not doing anything. It's like that's your problem. You don't have whether you use 6 ad sets or 10 ad sets or 3 ad sets, or use manual bidding or auto bidding, none of that matters if you have this, if you have a incredible experience, if you have customers that are sharing your product virally everywhere whenever they get the product. Like that is, I don't know why that message is not sticking with people. And I don't know why, like, obviously the short answer is that it's easier to not do that. That's the obvious answer. But it seems like there's something deeper that I don't understand, what most people in the industry don't understand about that part of it. And it's fascinating that it still
a little bit
stuck.
of it. It's like, how can I get this campaign for a certain ROAS? We're so focused myopically on different stats. The ROAS is the number one thing, and then conversion rate, and then this and this and this, everything on the front end. But John Paul DeJoria always says, be in the reorder business, and Paul Mitchell, Hair Systems, he's in the reorder business, $1 billion in top line revenue. He owns 100% of that company. They've got 1,000 employees. They've never let anybody go. And for me, I try to program my mind so that I'm constantly in the reorder business in every aspect. So when I meet somebody, how can I be in the reorder business of an interaction where the interaction was so great that they want to reorder with me in the form of not giving me money, but they would love to hang out with me again. Or, if someone gives me a piece of advice, I go and I implement that advice. If it makes sense, I go and I implement it. I come back with feedback, because I want to be in the reorder business of them giving me more feedback. Any type of experience I have, the hardest business to be in is in the order business. Getting that initial order is so difficult. And what happens is that we burn ourselves out. We go into the order business and we're like, nice, we're making money. Okay, great. All right, let's sell them more products, more order. And then it's like, well, what about over here where everybody actually makes money? And that's the thing, is that, like you touched on, that if you go against a brand who's in the reorder business, you're never going to win, because the reorder business can spend a lot more to acquire the customer on the order business than you can ever. And that's the thing, is as we roll out our line of toothpaste and all of that next month, we're going to be very much so in the reorder business. And the other thing too is, our return policy. Like in the very beginning, we're guilty of it too. At first, it's like, oh my gosh, if everybody asks for a refund, it's gonna hurt our bottom line, and let's try not to give them a refund, or let's say, oh, you opened the package, oh, you can't. We are so lenient on our refund policy, and the truth is, we can't reuse the product. If a customer sends us back a mouthpiece that they sucked on, I can't resell that product. And it's like, for us, it's like, you know what, you weren't happy with your order, here's your money back, here's a gift card. I took a call this morning actually. From a sweet woman in Texas, and she just wanted a refund, and she had maybe changed her mind, whatever. And I told her, I said, look, we're going to refund your full purchase right now. And here's the deal. I don't want you to have to go to the post office and send this back to us, because that's not, nobody gets excited about going to the post office to send something back. Your refund, you're fully refunded, and I want you to keep that product. And she's like, what do I do with it? I said, you can gift it, you can recycle it, you can trash it, you can save it, you can do whatever you like with it. Is yours to keep. And the first thing she said right away was like, well, thank you, I appreciate that. I'm going to recommend you to someone else. For some reason, the product wasn't for her. Maybe it was the timing, maybe it was a budget thing. I don't know. That's not my business. My business is my customer, making sure they're happy and taken care of. But now she went from, potentially a negative experience. Could have been a negative experience if I told her, oh, it looks like you're past our money back period, or, oh, you opened it, we can't take it, I'm sorry. Or I could have fought her and be like, why are you trying to return it? Instead, I said, here's your money back. Keep the product. Now, what is she going to do? She's going to give it as a gift to somebody, because it costs her $0 now. She's going to give it. Someone else is going to have a great experience with it. They're going to share about it. And then she right away said on the phone that she's going to recommend Snow to someone else. And she didn't even use the product, and she's going to recommend it. And so we try to take that Zappos approach, and we found that a big gap in the market in general in e-commerce is people don't put 1-800 numbers up there. They don't answer the phone. We put a 1-800 number at the top of our website now. People don't have a lenient return policy. They take forever to ship. Jeff Bezos is over here trying to get 1 hour shipping, and then you have people over here doing drop shipping for 3 week shipping, and then fighting people on returns and getting chargebacks to get their account shut down. And then you have Jeff Bezos over here. Now, I can't be Jeff Bezos. I can't raise $10 billion from the public markets to subsidize my 1 hour shipping, right? That's his biggest moat. His biggest moat is that he's creating the infrastructure.
Logistics company.
Their logistics company. And you either got to play in their world, or you're going to lose. Like, you either got to play in that world or you're going to lose, because I've never had a customer say, I don't want my product in 1 day. I'd rather have it in 3 weeks. And that's never happened. So you have to think about your business long term, and think about the reorder business. And even if someone doesn't use your product, doesn't like your product, whatever that is, if you give them a great experience, they're going to go and tell 5 other people. They was like, hey, I ordered from them. I didn't use the product myself, but I might try it later on. But they were great. They gave me my money back. They let me keep the product. Then someone else will be like, wow, I was on the fence about ordering with them. I'm going to go ahead and order them. You think I should? Oh, yeah, they were great. I think it's going to work great for you. It just didn't work for me. All of a sudden, you got these champions. If you do that 100,000 customers at a time over a 10-year period, you've got 1 million champions who are in your army, who, whether they like your product or not, are going to recommend your brand. And that's what's called goodwill. And goodwill is something that I'm chasing in business, because even if I broke even, if you could bring me 1 million customers the next 12 months and I broke even, but I had an opportunity to treat those people really well and give them an experience, when I launch the next product or the next product or the next product under that brand, they're 10 times more likely to try it out because they had a good experience with us. And so for me, that's the way I look at it. I look at break even. How can we break even? How can we get in front of as many people as possible? How can we give them such a great experience that they'll tell their friends about it, or they'll at least want to come back? And if you do that for 10 years and you never make a dollar, but you stay in business and you break even, all of a sudden you cross the chasm, and all of a sudden you don't have to advertise anymore, because people just trust your brand. They had a great experience with you. They have a sister or a mother or a girlfriend or a wife who had a great experience with you, and everyone's talking about you in a good way. That is the way that I do business. And the thing is, people want to eat the fruit the day they plant the seed. And for me, I'm all about planting a lot of seeds, 1 million seeds, watering each one, making sure they're getting sunlight, making sure it's part of that servant leadership as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, as a partner, and as someone who is selling you something. My personal brand is tied to this brand. I put my face in front of it. And the last thing I want you to do is, I bought something from that company and it took forever to get in. And once it did, I tried to get my money back and they wouldn't give me my money back. They wouldn't respond to me. There was no 1-800 number. I couldn't call anybody. People already feel like they've ordered shitty stuff. It's too late now. Like, it's 2019. They've ordered shitty stuff online through a drop shipper that they never got. So you're having to deal this uphill battle. You're an unknown brand. Already they're skeptical as heck when they're coming to your website. You need to do everything that you can to get them over that hump. But I tell you what, if you're one of the few brands that gets over that hump, they will come back and buy from you every single time, and you don't have to pay for them to come back. You just got to pay for them to come in. So I pay to show people that to hopefully earn the right to earn their money down the line, and that's where we're going to make our money, not on the first handshake. And luckily, we're pretty good at marketing that we can make money on that first handshake, but I'm not looking to make money on the first handshake. I'm looking to make money 3 or 4 handshakes down. It might not even be their handshake. It might be their friend's handshake. So that's how I think about it. And I challenge entrepreneurs to think about your dropshipping business. Think about your business right now. Do you have a 1-800 number? We're trying to go 24 hours all onshore. We do everything in-house: engineering, design, marketing, PR. We work with a few select partners and agencies outside, but we do fulfillment, packaging, design of packaging comes in a bubble mailer with snow all over it. Okay, it costs you an extra $1, right? But that's an opportunity. That's a gift that you're giving to a customer who's going to be yours for a very long time. I'm okay with that, and so spend a few more bucks on packaging, spend a few more bucks per customer to treat them well. And I promise you'll make that money back on the back end. And just because you're not making on the front end, people who are focused on the front end only can run a business for 1 to 3 years. It's a good money grab. But if you're trying to build $1 billion business, or it doesn't care, you can build a $1 million business, but you want to be in business for 20 years, you can't do that thinking only here.
No, it's so true. There's a lot to unpack there, because it's like there's so many points in that. I think like the phone call thing, right? So I posted, I think a week or two ago, about the founder of Chobani. For the first few years, put his personal phone number on the back of every package. Like, you bought Chobani yogurt, it had his phone number on it. You could call at any time, right? And we're starting to do the same thing now, where like every day I'll call 4 to 8 customers and leads just to check in on, not to sell them anything. There's no agenda there, but just to see like what their experience is like. Even if they haven't bought anything, it's like a free lead magnet. Like, what do you think about it? What can we do better, right? It is. There are so many little easy things that are either just a little bit of time or a little bit of money that have a exponentially greater impact than anything else you can do in terms of wowing that person and getting them to, like you said, become an ambassador for your brand. But like goodwill, this is the other thing. Goodwill's not an intangible, right? It is. You look at the balance sheet of most public companies. You look at Coke, Apple. Like, goodwill is a dollar value associated with that, right. With that on balance sheets. You look at, when Amazon bought Whole Foods, the gap in what Whole Foods is really earning, what they were worth, and what Amazon paid was goodwill, right? That's why if like down the road you decide you want to sell your company, goodwill becomes a big factor, right? It's how happy your customers, how loyal your customers, how strong is your brand. And so that's something I wanted to just encourage everyone to think about, is like, don't just think about this intangible goodwill thing where, I got happy customers, but it's not going to make me money. No, it's, you decide to sell your company down the road, or you just want to keep growing organically. Like, it's going to make you money. And again, that's the X factor. That's the differentiator between the 95% of drop shippers, people doing print on demand, that are not going to be in business a year from now or 5 years from now, and the 30% of businesses that'll still be around in 10 years from now, which is the stat. 70% of businesses don't exist 10 years after founding, which is crazy. So this is like just a similar question in the same vein of snow, but I don't think I've ever, we've hung out a good amount. I don't think I've ever heard the story. And if you've told this story before, I apologize, but I still think it's interesting. How do you get Floyd, so specific to Floyd, but like, how, I know you probably have an agency of people you work with to get, and we've talked a little about how you get celebrities, but like specifically somebody like Floyd Mayweather, who probably gets pitched 100 times a day, maybe 1,000 times a week, some crazy number. He's getting pitched every product. Everyone wants to pay him money to endorse their product, right? How do you get someone of the greatest athletes of all time to say, you know what, I like this product. They're not a household name yet, but I want to go in on them, want to create a product with them. How does that even exist? Like the story of that would be really fascinating to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. So if you look at the first 2 partners I brought on, Rob Gronkowski and Chuck Liddell, and you would never in a million years, if you look at the space we're in the personal care space, we're focused on oral care right now. And you say, okay, and then really cosmetics, beauty, and oral care, the first people who come to mind are not Rob Gronkowski and Chuck Liddell. Let's be honest, and even Floyd Mayweather, but definitely not Rob Gronkowski and Chuck Liddell. But what I found in the market and doing so much research, because I become great entrepreneurs are obsessive, and obsessive about their customer, obsessive about their team, and obsessive about the market and the research. And so I research the market so intimately. I literally have Google alerts on every freaking keyword in our business, every competitor in our business, everything. And so I'm reading 2 to 3 hours a day, everywhere that I am, anything that comes out. And so I read everything I could. I found that it was like 20 to 23% of the buyers were men. And I'm like, men and women have teeth. They both can benefit from a more confident smile. Why is it that 80% of the buyers are women? And I said, okay, maybe men feel that it's feminine to whiten your teeth, or that it's not necessary. So when you look at Rob Gronkowski, Chuck Liddell, and Floyd Mayweather, they all use mouthpieces, to fight, to make millions of dollars, right? And this mouthpiece happens to give you a more confident smile. And so it broke the barrier psychologically of it's not girly or feminine to whiten your teeth. It's actually cool because Floyd Mayweather does it, because Rob Gronkowski does it. And so we still do all of our celebrity stuff we do in-house. So we interface with agencies that have the A-list celebrities, sure. But with the very early on, Rob Gronkowski and Chuck Liddell joined when I think we had hit our first $1 million in sales. So still a very, very small company. It was me and maybe 2 or 3 other people. And what I sold them on was the vision of, the fact that people are going to have teeth. As long as people have teeth, they can buy products from us. This is a long-term company. I've been successful in multiple businesses before. I built and sold businesses before. And this is something that I want to be around for a very long time. And I'm really doing this to prove a point and not to enrich myself. It's really to make an impact and prove a point that a small company can come out of nowhere and create a challenger brand in a dormant category and really turn a need to have into a want to have, and kind of sold that story of like, come on this journey with me. I'm not asking any money from you. I'm going to be very respectful of your time. I'll never need more than 30 minutes a quarter of your time. And you're going to earn equity in this business, and you're going to get checks for the rest of your life and maybe even your kids' life. For as long as people have teeth, they're going to want to buy Snow. And so all of a sudden it's like, oh, this isn't like a trendy one-off thing. This isn't like a restaurant deal that's really risky. This is something that's pretty secure. And this guy's really on a mission. So that's the first part, is selling them on the vision and treating any celebrity we work with like a business partner, like an investor, showing them the forecast, showing them the market, the potential. And so, I drip feed on our celebrities how big the oral care market is, how big of a lead that we have, the products we're coming out with, other celebrities we work with, and it starts to snowball. But in the very beginning, it's mostly heart, it's mostly vision, it's mostly a little bit of traction, it's mostly showing what I've done before. Just like you're pitching to an investor who's going to put the first round of money into your business, you've got to show them why you're not going to give up, how you're going to be able to protect their brand, lift their brand up. And really, like this collaboration we did initially for 2 Chainz with the show that's coming out with GQ and Vice, is like, look at this product and realize that this is the Rolls Royce of teeth whitening. And all of a sudden the celebrity's like, wow, I want to use this product. Like, I would put this on my vanity because I've got diamonds all over me. I would put this on my vanity.
And that's $10,000, right? That one?
This is $10,000. Yeah, this is Swarovski crystals and gold. And obviously, we sold a few of these actually already. So we'll keep a small amount of production, but we wanted to create something that was realistic for a multimillionaire to use. And when they see it, and when you get the celebrity excited about it, like champagne mouthwash, champagne toothpaste for Floyd Mayweather, it's like, that matches my brand. That's something that I would use. That's something that I would endorse. So you've got to have a product that matches the celebrity, even if that means you have to create the product to match the celebrity. Then you've got to show them the vision and kind of where you're at. And then really it comes down to email. There's a bunch of websites that you can find, booking agents, celebrity agents, shooting them an email and saying, hey, I'd like 5 minutes of your time. I'll pay you $1,000, Mr. Agent, for 5 minutes of your time. And for every minute I take after 5 minutes, I'll pay you an extra $100 per minute. And now all of a sudden the agent's like, whoa, okay, $1,000. Oh man, sometimes I even send it to PayPal direct to their email, and this is the wrong email on their PayPal account, but at least they get an email saying you receive $1,000 from Josh Snow, 5 minutes whenever you'd like, in the midnight, 6 in the morning, wherever you want. Let's talk over the next week. Here's $1,000 and $100 for every minute I go over 5 minutes. All I want to do is show you is first minute, tell you who I am and what I've done. Second minute, who Snow is and what we've done so far. Third minute, why I think that XYZ, Floyd Mayweather, etc. is a good match for us. Fourth minute of how I'd like to pay you, right? And fifth minute, answering any questions you have right out the gate. Boom, 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 boom. That's the template. I send it off to them. And I know within 5 minutes, they know within 5 minutes if it's a good fit. And they'll tell me. And what happens is that because I respect their time, they'll say, hey, I don't think it's a good fit for this person, but I manage someone else who I think it's a good fit for. Or send me some product and I'll show it to this celebrity. And if they like it, I'll call you back. And then once they see the packaging, they see the product, I always get a call back. And then we can open the discussion. And the other thing too is, so it's cold email. We manage our business still through Google spreadsheets, no fancy tools, no nothing like that. We don't really we have access to the influencer tools and things like that to kind of help us prospect, but it's still face-to-face, on the phone, email, very, very 1999 way of doing business. And that's how that business operates. But Floyd Mayweather's team actually reached out to us because Conor McGregor had worked with an Australian competing brand. Okay. And Floyd was like, well, I beat Conor, in the fight, and I make more money than him. I'm worth more money than him, and now I want to beat him in business too. And it's like, where's an American company that has truly the best products where I could one-up him again? And that's where Snow kind of just, because of our branding, because of our consistency, and because of seeing Rob Gronkowski and Chuck Liddell early on, it was like, okay, it de-risked. That's the snowball effect. And now, over the next 12 months, we literally have two of the biggest dead celebrities coming on board. And then we have a couple of I'm talking celebrities with 50 to 150 million followers coming on board. And two of them are coming on as equity partners. So, they're going to be truly invested. Rob Gronkowski was just with me, in our warehouse, seeing where the product is packaged, seeing where it's made, and really including these celebrities as my business partners, showing them the financials, showing them our growth, showing them the commercials. And that never stops. I'm drip feeding them constant updates. I treat them with the respect that they deserve.
That's different for them. I think that's because they're probably used to being treated just like meat. It's like, hey, get out in front of the camera and sell this product. They're being treated like, they have no brains and they're not business people. Like, get on. It's like the Zoolander thing, dance monkey. It's like that's probably what they're used to. So it's you stand out if you treat them with respect and care about other parts of them beyond just the fact that they have a big following, which is amazing. So who would be and I know some of that you're probably working on deals right now you can't share, but if you could snap your fingers like Thanos and not disappear somebody, but make somebody appear celebrity wise that's endorsing Snow today, who's that celebrity? Like the dream celebrity or dream person. It doesn't, maybe not even celebrity, but they're now the big endorser of Snow. Who's that person?
I think that The Rock Johnson, Dwayne Johnson would be an incredible partner of ours. Thinking of people who make others smile. So, whether it's Kevin Hart, The Rock, A-list celebrities Ellen DeGeneres would be phenomenal. That would be huge. Like if I could set my fingers, Ellen DeGeneres and The Rock Johnson, right? Or or in the music world, Drake or Beyonce would be a phenomenal partner. And just being thinking through when you think of that person, do they put a smile on your face? And if they do, that's someone who we would like to work with. And so when we're looking at the different celebrities, as we snowball into it, now we're looking at ultra A-listers who everybody knows, the Brad Pitt of the market. Who is that, and how can we partner with them? How can we create products with them? And then if you look at our target audience, shows that have been around for a long time, like Friends and Seinfeld, being able to partner with celebrities like that who are a staple, a household name. And if we can not just inject ourselves, but if we can sit next to a household name like that, the association is really strong. These people make me smile and laugh, and I believe in them. I trust them. Oprah, Ellen makes me laugh. I trust her. When she says she uses something, I believe it, and I want to buy. I want to be a part of whatever Ellen DeGeneres is doing. And if that's the result of when you think of a celebrity, that's probably someone we want to work with. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, has had an incredible career and has persevered and has become one of the highest paid celebrities in the world, rightfully so. He's a hard worker. He makes people smile. He's disciplined. He's a great looking guy, very smart. I would love the opportunity to work with those type of celebrities to create products together and say, hey, The Rock, which flavor of toothpaste do you actually like? Or what kind of fruits do you like? Or what kind of, guilty pleasures do you have that we could infuse into the product? What kind of materials do you like? Do you like, Python, leather, carbon fiber? What is it? So that we can take, our systems, our devices, and encase them with your favorite materials so that it's something that you genuinely use. And now we have a role, because now we get a lot of inbound, because what happens is that the agents and the managers see us, that we're working with all these celebrities, and they see the stuff we're doing, like with Gronkowski doing a music video, off of Vanilla Ice, and it's like snow, teeth, whitening, din, 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 din. And they're like, okay, how did this brand get, one of the most famous athletes to go and do this? And Rob posted before and after the Super Bowl with us, and they won the Super Bowl. And it's like, okay, how did this unknown brand get Rob to dance in a fur coat and promote this unknown teeth whitening product? They're like, what? So the managers and agents are like, okay, clearly this company knows how to do celebrity partnerships. They clearly have the money. That's the first thing to think. I get it. The first thing is like they might have raised a lot of money. They have money they're spending for Rob to do this, because Rob is not cheap. Floyd is not cheap. That's the first thing they think, I'm assuming. And then the next thing is like, wow, this brand is actually pretty well done. Sometimes they order the product, they see how well it's done. Then they're like, okay, how can we infuse this? This is something that would match my client, because my client is looking to get in a space like this. They're looking to be in business. And you see like Nas, you see a lot of rappers, Jay-Z. If you look at the Forbes, I was looking at it the other day, the top earning celebrities, a lot of them earn way more in 1 year. Like Kanye West made $300 million pre-tax on the Yeezy shoes last year, the majority of it. And you look at his whole career, he made more in 1 year than he made in his career making music. And that's in business. So celebrities are realizing that Kylie Jenner, billionaire, not because of being on the show or because of posting about fit tees. No, it's because she built a business around it, right? So a lot of the early on disruptors in the space, like the Fit Tees, the Fashion Novas, etc., they figured out how to leverage celebrity through social media, an affordable platform, scalable platform. But now celebrities themselves are recognizing that they're becoming more strict with the brands they work with. And then we also are becoming more strict with the celebrities we work with, because it's no longer just about getting the attention. It's about getting the right attention. And sometimes that's a polarizing audience. Kim Kardashian has 140 million followers. 40 million of them might be neutral or not like her for one reason or another, but 100 million like her. So we have to choose as a brand, do we take that risk from our brand perspective to get in front of 140 million people, but maybe 40 million will now carry kind of a grudge with us. I don't know. So you have to start thinking about it as a brand and saying, it's not just about getting a celebrity and getting in front of someone. Is this someone we can work with for a long period of time? And that's what we're figuring out as a brand, is like, who makes you smile? Who's going to be around for a while? Who is someone we want to attach our brand to? And the thing too is that it has a ripple effect, because if you work with a couple of the wrong celebrities, Now you go try to get the celebrity you really want, and they're like, you work with these people? I don't really like that. So now it's a big risk for us, for the celebrities we work with. So we become really, really strict on who we're working with. But luckily, we do have some deal flow coming in now. I think people realize that we're good at. I had to learn Hollywood in 2 years, which is very difficult for me. I'm not going to lie, because I didn't know anybody in that space. I couldn't just like call someone up. We're still a relatively unknown brand, and it's a huge risk on the celebrity to take a risk on an unknown product, unknown brand to associate themselves with. So you've got to make this gap of where they're at and where they think you're at. You've got to cover this gap by selling them the vision, proving it to them in the products, following up with them, showing them the traction, and never giving up. And sometimes it takes a year for us to get the deal that we want. But if it's a deal that we really want, we're not going to give up on it.
No, it's huge, and that's it's funny. I saw a video. You're talking about like getting the right celebrities. It's also like making sure it's the celebrity that's not kind of whoring themselves out and taking every deal. Now you have these apps like Cameo. I just saw I won't name the person's name, but I saw a big person in our space that's running an ad from a well-known entrepreneur, and it's clearly from Cameo, which everyone kind of knows you can spend a few $100, and it's like, well, is it really valuable if you're paying a few $100 to get a kind of birthday wish, the testimonial, and then using that in your ads and stuff? It's like, it can backfire on you pretty heavily. And that's what's happening in the comments for this person. It's like everyone knows.
Well, they're suing people now too. I mean,
it's against the term of service. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not allowing that anymore. And so now Cameo's cool. I got from that bagel boss guy that went crazy or whatever, like went viral. I saw him pop up on there. So I had him do a video. I just wanted to see if he would do it, because he made me laugh. So I was like, oh, he's on here. But Cameo's great. Like, those directories are great to understand which celebrities might be open to doing a deal. But the days of just going on a platform and gaming the system and grabbing the celebrity and running ads, like their agents, their managers, even if they're washed up celebrities, their agents are on it. Like, they're going to see that and they're going to report you. They're going to sue you. And really for us, it's like, oh, if someone's on Cameo or someone's on a website or a directory, celebrity voicemail or anything like that, it might mean that they're willing to deal with us outside of the platform where we can do those things. But you can't do that. Where people, this is what happens every time. Marketers are really good at it. Marketers find the loophole, they exploit the loophole, and then it closes, and then there are those drifters that still try to exploit that loophole, and it kind of sours it for everybody. I'm used to that. That's just how it works. But you can't do that anymore. The days of putting Dr. Oz or Oprah on your landing page when that's not a real celebrity endorsement, there are hefty lawsuits being filed now, defamation, I mean, you name it. And Cameo now, it's against terms of service. You can't just go and get a birthday shout out for your company and go and run it as an ad. And then honestly, Cameo just raised $50 million. Customers know now that that person is on Cameo. And so you all of a sudden you lose all respect if that person is not directly endorsing your brand or you're not doing something unique with it. And so what we've done is we've reached out to some of the people we worked with 2-3 years ago on Cameo and said, hey, we would like to do a more in-depth deal with you where you're further along our funnel. For example, our email thank you page is, depending on the funnel they come through, our first email welcome series is going to include some of our celebrities. And it's not going to be just them saying like, I love snow, I use it to whiten my teeth. Everybody says that. Instead, it's like, hey, it's Rob Gronkowski. I want to thank you for joining the Snow family. You're going to be getting a special offer in the next 3 days. Make sure you check your email. Let us know if there's any issues. Call 1-800-253-BOOM-BOOM-BOOM. So now it's a celebrity in the side of the business saying thank you in the welcome series email instead of just an Instagram post. Because the Instagram algorithm is changing so rapidly now, just like Facebook did, it's no longer about the post reach. Like, some of our celebrities, we don't even want them to post. Like, we're like, yo, don't post. And they're like, what? What do you mean? I'm like, we'll pay you the full rate, just don't post. They're like, what? I thought you were paying me to post. What are you paying me for then? We're paying you for content. We don't need you to post, because once you post, everybody's going to know that you got paid to post. Yeah, we're going to get some sales out of it. Yeah, it's kind of cool. We're going to get in front of a lot of people. Let us handle that. We'll pay our money. We'll pay $20,000, $30,000 to get in front of your audience. but we'll do it our way so that it's a lot more genuine instead of you just posting next to your waist trainer, next to your tummy pills and all this stuff, because it's immediately going to put us in that same category. And teeth whitening already, because of other brands that have done that, has the image of like, oh, there she goes promoting another teeth whitening brand. Instead, it's like, hey, this you're thinking. I got paid a bunch of money to post about this product. The truth is, I did get paid money, but they actually didn't want me to post this because I actually used this product. And you may have seen me post other products before that I didn't use, but I'm telling you the truth, this is truly the best teeth whitening system I use. I use it myself. The next video, I'm going to show you how I use it. And then that genuine connection is what speaks volumes versus, oh, if I can just get a picture of Kim Kardashian holding it, I can spam it all over the place. That doesn't really work anymore.
No, it's true. It's consumers are not the smartest, but they're getting a lot smarter. I think I'm doing a complete 180 in a second, but when we did our Trump coin, the first round of we're doing it again now, but when we did it in 2016, we had all these big networks start wanting us to pitch offers because we had so many customers. And I mean, there were some of them that were just like rips of Fox News. It had Trump endorsing these, get rich quick programs. Like that stuff does not fly anymore, and you're going to get sued to oblivion, right? And consumers can smell that a mile away. So I know one of the things that I think is also really cool about what you do is obviously Snow and the entrepreneurship stuff's great, but like you care a lot about your community and helping other entrepreneurs, underprivileged kids and stuff, which is amazing. Like one of the big topics right now in the election is the jobs, automation, AI. You have people like Andrew Yang he actually just qualified now for the next debate in the Iowa caucus, which is pretty interesting. With universal basic income. What are your thoughts on that? Like, I know this is like a huge topic, and I know we don't have too much time, but I'm genuinely curious, kind of your thoughts over the next few years with just where robotics, AI, where jobs are going, where skills are going, and kids coming out of school, or just adults that are in jobs that are truck driving or things that just are not creative, that they're skills that can be replaced very easily. Entry level accounting jobs. Like, do you think UBI is a good idea? I know like Andrew Yang's behind it, Elon Musk. There's plenty of smart people that support it. There's obviously a lot of other people that think it's a terrible idea. You have a lot famous economists that think it's Thomas Sowell just did a big thing about it, who think it's awful idea. It's going to make people just content to sit on their ass and do nothing all day. Like, what are your thoughts about that?
I think my view on it, I'm a hardcore capitalist and I'm a rugged individualist. I think that people need to work. I think that people need a purpose. And I think that it's very important to pay your populace enough so that they are not struggling. That's important, sure. Because if you're worried about food, shelter, security, you can't innovate. Yeah. You got to worry about the basics. And we are now a service-based economy. We are an innovation-based economy. We are a global superpower. I have traveled not as much as I'd like to, but I've traveled enough to know that without bias, there's a reason why America is the best country on earth, and there's no ifs, buts about it. I think that it's built into our culture. People want to work in this country. People want to create, and the biggest biz op was created by our founding fathers, and it is amazing. I am so amazed by it every day, because the American dream is the biggest biz op ever. And what it results in is a productive society, a productive economy. My dad left Spain. He left an amazing career in Spain to come to America, the only family member to come to America, period. And he didn't have to leave. He wanted to, because he got sick and tired of, at least where he grew up, that if he wanted to do something great, they're like, why do you want to make money? Or like, why do you want to do something more? Like, relax. Like, we take 4 months off for summer, just chill and just this, which again, nothing wrong with that. Family values important. The community, all this stuff is very important. But if you're someone who wants to create something innovative, you want to build a big company, you want to do this, you have to have an environment, an economy that is supportive of that spirit. And I think that it's in the American spirit to want to work hard, to want to create jobs, to want to innovate. There's this championing about it. And you see in Germany with the engineering, like there's this spirit of engineering, of creating the best products, Mercedes Benz and Porsche. And like, it's like, I want to create great technology. And so with us, I think that the whole thing about UBI and all that, certainly there's people need to work. I mean, that's just the plain and simple, people need to work. My view on it is that not everybody needs to be rich. And I know that's controversial, but certain people don't know what to do. You see it all the time with people that win the lottery, or I don't think that financial literacy is universally understood enough to the point that everybody should be making $500,000 a year. What I found, even in my own family, is some people that make more money, they find ways to spend that money, and a lot of times it's not in a good way. Gambling, drugs, alcohol, partying, whatever it is, whatever. And so again, my thing is, but it's the responsibility, I think, of the people who are able to and willing and able to go that extra mile to make that extra money, or that have that extra money to create innovation. It's not about just throwing money and just throwing it into nonprofits and all this, but creating true innovation that creates more jobs. And I think that as a society, we're moving to higher value work always. Just like my management philosophy for my entire team is always move to higher value work. Don't be worried about someone taking your job security. The truth is, if you're not moving to higher value work, you're putting your job at risk right away, because automation and technology is finding ways to move you to higher value work. So if you're not thinking that way, you're going to get caught in between, and you're not going to learn those skills on the other side. And that's why we launched a Phoenix Coding Academy in Phoenix, Arizona. And the Phoenix Coding Academy is the first school of its type, at least in Arizona. It's a public high school. So students go there for their entire 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, entire high school. And we have 3D printers there, robotics. They learn programming, web design, and then they also take their standard high school stuff, their standard high school tests. So we're taking this and saying, okay, public high school students may not have access to a $5,000 3D printer, but generally this cohort of students is being taught trades, which I think there is right now. There's a big gap in the trades, plumbing and electricians, et cetera, because everybody wants to be a programmer, an entrepreneur. They want to travel and not work a lot.
But those craftsman jobs are the ones that are really hard to automate, and they have a lot of staying power. That's the vocation stuff is fascinating to me. I think Rogan was talking about yesterday with Bernie Sanders, right? Like it's going to be really hard for a plumber, like a robot, or I think it was like Andrew Yang on the Shapiro special was talking about, robot coming in to fix your toilet. Like it's a lot of delicate work. You got to change out, pipes and also, but again, it's not sexy. And I guess this was going to my next question was like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like how socialism has become such a sexy thing, and how it's like a serious campaign issue for major candidates right now in the debates is this idea of socialism. This is my personal belief, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I think people keep talking about income inequality, and there's a lot of issues there, and they're talking more about, is it equality of opportunity or equality of outcome is the big thing. And it's, listen, if you went to college and you majored in a degree that has no jobs, like whether it's literature or something like that, that's fine. Like liberal arts was created initially for wealthy individuals to go, and it literally means in Latin like freedom to study. Like your parents are wealthy, you didn't need to learn a trade, so you go to school just to learn for the sake of learning. But now it's people go and they go to 4 years of college and they take out a lot of loans, they come out with a degree, and then they want to make $100,000 a year, and it's like, well, you can't make a lot of money that way. And then you have a lot of, I think our generation down, they kind of start with the generation, this entitlement of like, I deserve a 6-figure job, and they're above becoming a plumber. above becoming an electrician, above these jobs that are just incredible careers that are not going to be automated, that you can make very good money, have very good benefits. Like, what are your thoughts there on one, like why that's happening?
Like, I mean, I went to college, right? I graduated in 2 years from Arizona State University. I went to the honors college, and I went to business school, and and I've been an entrepreneur since I was 13 years old. So I've never worked for a company I haven't started or owned, right? But for me, what we teach in our nonprofit program, the Fleischer Scholars Program. So the program is focused on. We're at 5 different universities. We're at Washington University in St. Louis, University of Arkansas, Arizona State University. We usher hundreds of students now through that program. It's 100% free, and these are high achieving but underserved in their community students. These are high performing. They're interested in business, but they don't necessarily have a role model in their community, etc. What we talk about college is that it's an opportunity for you to learn how to work in teams, learn how to read, learn how to write. A lot of these basic skills that need to be sharpened before you go into the business world. Because I can tell, it's not that I can tell if someone went to college or not, but because going to college or not doesn't mean that you're an educator or not. Those are separate. My favorite quote by Mark Twain is "Never let schooling interfere with your education." And I read that when I was 14 years old, and I was like, okay, that means I gotta go to school from 8 to 5, and from 5 to 2 in the morning, I've got to learn other stuff. And so my thinking is, what I tell the kids and the students in the program is, you go to school to learn how to learn how to read, learn how to write. If you're an entrepreneurial student, you're going in and you're learning how to use resources, etc. But I think the root of a lot of these issues is the capitalization of secondary education. And I think that the profiting that happens with these public companies, especially in private, whether it be private schools or particularly public companies who are running and promoting degree programs that are essentially useless, and then helping students get loans and take federal money to get an overpriced degree with no job at the end of the tunnel. That's the problem. The other problem is that the graduation rate, you get someone to take loans on federal money, and then they drop out their last semester and they go work at Taco Bell. Now all of a sudden it puts a strain on the economic resources. It puts a strain on a lot of things, because now they can't make enough money to buy food. So now they need social welfare in order to eat. So it puts a strain there. And guess who profits along the way? These for-profit universities, institutions. And what I'm seeing is that the more people right now, it's like everybody needs to get a degree, and like more people are going to college than ever before, which means that you don't stand out next to Sally Joe, who also has a degree, who also has a degree, who also has a degree, who also has a degree. And what they're doing is that they're creating niches. They're creating specific products where it's like, oh, you're interested in web design for social media? We have a degree program for that. And so universities are getting greedy, is my opinion. I think secondary education is getting greedy. They're taking advantage of, and what they're doing is they're marketing to students saying, if you don't go to college, you're only going to make $20,000 a year. If you go to this program, you're going to make supply chain management. You're going to make $70,000 a year right out the gate. Here's a student that's working for Intel. So they're getting primed in their head, so that it's like, dude, take out $100,000 in loans. You're going to be making $100,000 a year right when you graduate. And then what happens is it creates a sense of entitlement where it's like, hey, I was sold this dream by this advisor who got a commission for me coming to the school. Now I've got all this loan and this debt. Bro, I can't make $30,000 a year because I got $100,000 in loans. I got to make $60,000 a year. So it's a perpetual cycle of destruction, and it results in the $1 trillion student loan crisis. It results in a sense of entitlement because people were sold something that is not in actuality. And then it makes it very tough for job creators to actually create jobs, because now you've got this shuttle of entitled millennials, or whatever you want to call it. And it's not just millennials, but you got a shuttle of entitlement coming to your door, and you're like, yo, I'm working hard over here. I'm trying to create jobs. I'm trying to do things here. But you got to be willing to work up the ladder. Look at your parents. Your parents swept the floor before they sat in this office. And immediately you want a stand-up desk, an iMac, a company car, a company credit card,
401k matching.
401k matching. What's my signing bonus? What's my 401k? What's my health insurance, my dental insurance? I'm like, Jesus, crickety, crickety, crickety. You are 22 years old. I can't imagine my parents asking at 22 years old, going to the employer and saying, okay, what's in it for me? Where's my health insurance? Where's this? I listened to a podcast that said I need to negotiate like this. I listened to one of my favorite guys, Ramit Sethi. I will teach you to be rich. I read the 4-Hour Workweek. One of my favorite guys, Tim Ferriss. Nothing bad about these guys, but I read the 4-Hour Workweek. So I want to be able to work from home because I want to travel because I'm on Instagram and all my friends are traveling. So how much vacation do I get and paid time off? It's like, whoa, wait a second. Who's writing your check again? Who's paying you? Who's creating the job again? Let's rewrite the rules and say, we're the ones who are hiring you, okay? And you got to work your ass off for 20 years because my dad literally won, there's an not competition, there's an award at his job called the Ironman, and my dad won the Ironman for 5 years in a row, which means you take 0 days off every single year. So my dad literally worked every single day for 5 years straight, won the Ironman 5 years in a row, and never complained, right? And it's like that's what allowed us to move up social mobility, socioeconomic mobility. It's hard work, okay? It's not complaining. It's showing up to work on time, not at 9 or 10, because I get it all the time. Oh, what time do we have to come into the office? Oh, I just hate traffic. Okay, who doesn't hate traffic? Oh, I'm not really a morning person. Okay, well then you're not a job person because you're not gonna have a job. And it's like we need to rewrite the rules. And I think that the 4-hour work week's great because it instills entrepreneurial thought and all of this. But I'm sorry, you don't get the 4-hour work week. Okay, I'm sorry, you don't get benefits and a full 401k package when you're 21 years old and you came out of school with a random degree that doesn't apply here. I'm sorry that you have a lot of student loan debt. I'm sorry that happened to you. I know. But at the end of the day, we've got a job to fill here. We've got a mission to complete. And if you're willing to work your ass off, I hope to be around 50 years and you'll have a job. And right now, it's like people are hopping jobs. They're salary jumping around like, okay, let me work 1 year here and learn a little bit so I can go here, get a higher salary here, and then I'll make enough money so I can buy my Airstream and drive around and take Instagram photos and I can work on my laptop. I love it. I love that, some of my team does get to work from home sometimes. I love that my team is incredible. I have an incredible team. They don't complain. They work hard. But I got to tell you, it's a lot harder to find. I've got 20 people in my office for snow. We've got maybe 30 more that are outside through agencies. But the ones that are in our house are incredibly hardworking. They're not entitled, and they put the work in. But I had to interview 500 people to get 5. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it used to be that way. I think that people would show up with their sleeves rolled up, ready to work and say, all right, boss, where do you want me? I want to earn the right to have a 401k one day. I'd like to have this. I'd like to this. Now it puts all this pressure on the employer, on the entrepreneur from day one to be like, if I want a good employee, I've got to massage them. I've got to bring muffins in. You can bring your pets in. Okay, bring all your pets in. I'll massage you. No, this is a job. You're here to work. And if you don't work and do your job, you're fired. And that's it. And I hate to say, I'm the nicest. I think I'm the nicest guy in the workforce. I'm a macro manager. I'm not a micromanager. But I'm saying if I look at it macro, I don't have an issue inside of my company because we hire so slowly. But if I look at all of my other friends who run businesses, the constant thing is like, I hear this stuff all the time. Millennials are entitled. Oh gosh, so-and-so, wants 4 months off because, it's Shark Week. And it's like, what? I'm like, yeah, he wants the week off because Game of Thrones is coming on. It's like, dude, we have to work, it's like, it's okay to work and it's okay to like where you work. But sometimes this is a shocking thing. Sometimes you don't love your job. That's okay because it pays your bills and you don't have to love your job. Every job, I'm thinking of switching. I just don't feel the passion for it anymore. You think my dad felt the passion 5 years working in a row, working at the post office, okay, during Christmas, working on Christmas Day? Do you think he loved that? No. What he loved was being able to pay the bills and take care of his family and have a purpose and have a job. And that was it. He didn't love that. But now it's like, I want to find a place that has a really good charity cause, and I love it. I get to work from home. That there's too much of that, and I love it. Well, I hope that we create an environment that is very comfortable. We have a great office. Everybody's respectful of each other. We have a great time working together. I don't expect my team members to work in the middle of the night. You know, we that's it. I'm not over here slave driving. That's the opposite of what we're doing. What we're trying to do is create a productive environment where everybody feels respected and they have a purpose and they're a part of the mission. They have a say. They can raise their hand. But now it's like people come out of college and like, I want to raise my hand at the executive team meeting, and I want to be heard. I want to do this. And it's like, listen, sometimes, you know, you gotta earn your stripes.
Yeah, it's not the way it works. And if you want to do that, like, go start a company, right? You know, I started my first company when I was still in school, and for the first, 3 years, basically didn't pay myself anything. We paid everyone else first. So it's, at the end of the day, like, you want to be an employee, you don't see that the owner of the company, all the sacrifices they're making so you can get a paycheck and so you can have all the things that you have. They see, Zuckerberg, and they see the stories. Zuckerberg dropped out of college and he's a billionaire. I mean, it's an anomaly. He's an anomaly, right? And everyone uses the one or two examples, but they don't look at the tens of thousands.
He dropped out of Harvard. I always tell people that, like, wait a second, remember where he dropped out of. If you get into Harvard and you go through 1 year at Harvard and you start something that's blowing up like his did, absolutely drop out. I will drop out for you. Yeah. But I finished my degree. I made my first $1 million at 17 years old, and I still finished my degree. So don't. I tell this to students all the time. This is a hot button for me because they're like, well, what do you think about? I don't really want to go to college because I listened to a podcast and look at Bill Gates. Look at this. They all dropped out. Okay,
two or three examples
out of 7 billion.
Yeah.
2 out of 7 billion people, and he dropped out of Harvard to go and start one of the most valuable companies in the world. That's not you, sweetheart. You've got to work. You've got to put things in. I love the spirit. I love the American spirit. I love that drive. I love it, but it's got to be backed up. The other thing too is a lot of our students, it's the sweetest thing. I love it. They want to start nonprofits, right? Like, I want to run a nonprofit. It's like, there are enough nonprofits out there already. Okay, go and create value in the economy. Go create jobs or be a part of the value creation process so that you can then have enough money or have enough say or have enough power that you can then contribute to your causes. People like my partner in the foundation, who started the foundation, who's one of my closest friends and mentors, is 82 years old. He's going to be 83 this year. He spent 60 years working, building enough value in the economy, creating enough jobs. Now he's giving away all his money. But it was 60 years. He didn't come out at 22 years old and be like, I want to start a nonprofit for this. Go and Google it first. I bet you there's already a nonprofit for it, okay? Go and create value, and then you might be able to write a big fat check to that nonprofit or donate your time. That's even more valuable. Like, everybody wants to have a nonprofit, and that's just not the way it works.
Yeah, unless you you can't just come out of college and start a nonprofit, right? If you generate massive wealth and you want to start something on the side, like, go for it, right? If you have the resources, it's totally true. So I want to be respectful of your time. The last question I have, and I think I know the answer to this because I think we've talked about it before, but I'm curious if it's changed since we last spoke about it. Like, 10 years from now, where is Snow a public company? Is it still private? Have you sold it? What's the dream 10 years from now with Snow?
Well, I think about it. I think about it a lot, I guess, because I'm constantly living in the future. That's part of my job, right? Part of our job as entrepreneurs to live in the future. But the way I think about it is, 7 billion people have teeth. We have such a huge head start. We really created a premium oral care space online. We have a lot more products to come out with. That we're coming out with 8 to 10 products next year, and that's just barely chipping away at what our customers are asking us to create. And we have a tiny amount of customers that we could have. And for me, building that community is really exciting. I think that 10 years from now, I hope that we continue our growth, whatever that means. We continue our product development. I hope that we earn the right to become somewhat of a household name, maybe not a full-on household name, but enough where people are like, they see the logo and they're like, oh, I have that product, or I have that toothpaste in there, or oh, I love that flavor, or oh, I have that teeth whitener, oh, I have this, or I've seen the ads, something like that. We get a little bit of it now, 3 years in, where they're like, oh, I've seen those ads everywhere, or oh, I've seen Gronkowski, I've seen Floyd Mayweather, I saw Miss Universe using that. And that's cool. Like that's cool. I love that they have a positive thing about it. And what I found that even with people who I meet randomly are like, oh my God, I've been wanting to buy snow. Is there any discount coming up soon? And it's cool to have a product or a brand that people want and aspire to own. And so whether that means that we're public or private, in a perfect world, we're in a perfect world, we're private. In a perfect world, we are standing by our customers like we are today. We don't lose that startup mentality of creating disruptive services. And we are 10 times our size, ideally, at that point. That'd be great. We're international. We're in a lot of stores everywhere you go. At least in America, you're seeing our products somewhere, some shape, somehow. Maybe you're using one of our products or you've heard of them. I have 50 years, hopefully, of life left. That if that means that this is a company I get to run for 50 years, that's a huge privilege. Very few companies have been around 5 years, from the time they start. To be around 20 years from now, 10 years from now, would be a huge blessing, a huge honor to be able to run a company that has been growing for 10 years straight, or 13 years, I guess, at that point. And then if it makes sense to have a strategic acquisition where we get to take advantage of someone else's distribution built in, someone else's resources where we can grow and make more impact at a faster rate, I'm not opposed to that. I'm not sitting here saying that in 50 years, we're never going to sell. Ideally, we don't have to, and we can get that distribution ourselves and do all that we can, cool. If we can go public, that's a great opportunity to get the public involved in what we're doing. I think we have enough of a ubiquitous market with oral care that people will know it, which means they'll want to buy the stock of it, which means they'll want to be a part of it. That's unique, right? Like Nike can do that because you're wearing Adidas, so you want to buy Adidas stock. That means that's a great formula for a public company because people know it, they shop there, they use it. I think that we have a great opportunity to go public in the next 10 years. We have a great opportunity to be acquired in the next 10 years by someone who appreciates what we've built and can expand our distribution overnight. I think that's a great opportunity as well. Ultimately, if that means that we still doing what we're doing, we're private, we're launching products, we're talking to our customers, heck, I'll take it. So that it's not a direct answer of like, heck yeah, I want to sell the business in 10 years from now. Like I've got pretty much everything I want, like from not just a material thing, but from like a purpose. I've got a great couple of nonprofits I'm involved in. They're not my nonprofits, but I'm involved. I get a lot of purpose out of that. I drive a lot of purpose out of running these businesses. It keeps me up. It keeps me excited. It gives me life. It gives me a power base. I've got everything I need. So all I want is just to keep doing it. If I could do it for 50 years, I'd die the happiest man that I could be if I could do this for 50 years.
That's awesome, man. And I hope that's the case. I'm sure based on the last 3 years where you are right now, that'll definitely come to fruition for you. So anybody that wants to grab one of these, it's trysnow.com, right? Is the website to go check out one of these bad boys. And I would say regardless of whether you actually want to whiten your teeth and get the benefits of it. Everyone here is a marketer and business owner, and like I'll buy stuff that I probably won't even use just because I want to see what their packaging's like, what their follow-up experience is like, and that alone is worth it. You'll learn some really cool stuff. You'll see their packaging, the experience, the email follow-up, the post-purchase, all that good stuff. So check out trysnow.com. Give it a try. It actually works. I just started using it. My teeth were far from white. I'm already noticing some results. And I love it. So Josh, man, I appreciate you coming and hang out with me. It was a lot of fun. We got to dive pretty deep, which was exciting. You're my first guest on the show and a great first guest to have. So thank you so much. If anybody wants to keep following you, where should they go to hear more? You're always dropping stuff. You're always sharing content all the time. So where's the best place for people to find more?
There's that stupid friend limit on Facebook, so it's a little bit tough on there.
They
I'm
can still
launching.
follow you though, right?
Yeah, you can follow me on Facebook, and then Instagram is probably the easiest place to follow me right now. It's where the attention is, and that's Josh Snow, Instagram.com/Josh Snow, and that's where I'm kind of updates, and I try to share the good and the bad about building this company. And first they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. And I try to share the good, the bad, the ugly, hopefully there's more good than bad that I'm sharing. But I really peel back the kimono, even down to it's been a great. I gotta say, it's been a great experience becoming transparent and just like sharing everything, because the entrepreneurship community has been so supportive of wanting to see Snow win. And anytime someone tries to copy us, or someone tries to enter our space, I get a message right away. Or if someone's ripping us off, like our images or anything like that, our trademarks, or sometimes I'll post something on Facebook and say, "Hey guys, I need your help. Someone's ripping us off."
That just
Within
happened,
5
right?
to 10 minutes, it just happened. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Someone was ripping off our celebrity images on their page, and I posted about it. Within 2 hours, the website was taken down, and that was awesome. It's cool because people are part of this story now, and I think that people want to see Snow win because it means that the little guy can win, and that means that they can win too. And that's exactly why I'm doing this, is to show other people. It's not to show off, but it's to show what is possible if you think a little bit longer term, think bigger. And I'm gonna put my balls on the table. I'm gonna go to bat for the little entrepreneur. I'm doing that every single day, like you are, like a lot of us are, to show others that, hey, you guys can do this too. Like, we can do this as a community. And it's been awesome to be able to say, hey, does anyone know a buyer at Walmart? Or does anyone know who owns this website? Or, hey, someone's ripping us off. Or, hey, this is happening. And I'm telling you, every single time, it could be the middle of the night, within an hour, I've got 5 solutions in my inbox. And I don't even have that huge of a following. So it's really exciting and I'm really appreciative of the help and the support I get from the community. So if you're interested in seeing behind the scenes of building this business, you can follow me, Instagram.com/Josh Snow, Instagram.com/Snow Teeth Whitening, TrySnow.com. I invite you to try our products. We put our heart and soul into every single product we create. And for any reason you're not happy with the products, we stand right by them. I always say we put our money where your mouth is. And we create products that make you smile. So if you don't smile with a product of ours, we want to talk to you. And if it does, we also want to talk to you.
I love it, man. Well, hope you have a great rest of the week. And also, Josh had another Yorkie friend down there. I don't know if he's still there, but we got we'll sign off with the Yorkies. We got a double Yorkie episode today, which was unplanned. I forgot that Josh had his Yorkie. So we got Hokie has a friend right now, right?
It's cutie.
Well, Hokie's got to get her nails done just like that. So next time we talk, Hokie will have some professional looking nails, and we'll see who gets the most thumbs up. But again, man, hope you have a great day. It was a pleasure talking with you as always. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks.
Bye.